Hello, my name's Peter Gore. On this video, I'm going to discuss the question, if only I could do something to help our hard-pressed, wonderful NHS staff. Is there anything I can do? So the first thing that I want to say is thank you, NHS. You've done us proud over the last couple of years. I've had all the help that I needed. I know many of you personally, or a good number of you personally, and I'm really, really grateful for the hard work and the trauma that you put up with on our behalf. So thank you very much, and happy Christmas. I guess the question that comes to mind is, if only I could help, is there something that I could do to help? And that's an interesting question. So let's just think about that and think in the context of healthy aging, which is really my field. Is there some impact that we could have on the NHS that we as individuals could have? So let me just point you to a paper that was published a couple of years back where we looked at what happens to our costs as we get older. And in order to do that, one of the metrics that we used, or the metric that we used, this was with Scottish Government, where we looked at people's position on the life curve. So that's something that I talk about on the channel a lot. So we had these starting from cutting toenails, the first thing that you struggle with to do with age-related decline, down to eating independently. And we measured the costs for people. So if I go back to Bert, my favourite character here, and show two different trajectories, obviously we did see people on different trajectories and people at different stages. And we had just under 8,000 people where we had their detailed health records that we could study and look at where money was being spent. And what you'll know from this metric, if you've seen it before, is that whilst aging better doesn't really give us more years, not significantly, it does give us more better years, and that's what we're looking for. And I'm going to come back to this, but if you just look, so there are 15 stages here. So there are things that we can do. So we've talked about these before, so I can stay off the life curve. These people hadn't. I can get it back. There was potential for them to do that. They could use equipment and they could get care. So that's the framework that we talk about, and we can obviously do that in a whole bunch of stages. But how would that help ease NHS pressure? Well, essentially, if 1,000 people in every NHS trust area in the UK managed to stay just one stage higher for one more year, we wouldn't save the NHS because money doesn't kind of come back out of it like that, but we would reduce the pressure on the NHS by about £143 million worth of spend. So that's made up of people, it's made of things that people have to buy and so on. But a lot of that is about the time of people. So if we needed 143 million or whatever less for those 1,000 people in those 200 and something trusts, we would reduce the pressure on our colleagues and we'd live better for longer. That sounds like a really good idea to me. To put it in context, if you were able to spend that money on care, if you could get the people, that'd be about 7 million care hours. So it's a really dramatic difference that might take some pressure off. Of course, if we did a couple of stages for a couple of years, then the numbers start to go up really dramatically. But it's something, if you go back to those simple interventions, go back and look, what is it? Can we move more? Can we get more active so that we keep our abilities for longer? Can we use equipment to help us stay independent for longer? Anything that avoids us going down the life curve, which means we put more pressure on the NHS. That's what it's there for, but obviously if we can do anything to help, we live better for longer and the NHS is under less pressure with the resources that it has. So with that thought, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas, NHS. Thank you so much for everything that you do, and see you on the next video.